The greatest thing from Quebec since Celine Dion and GSP.
A pair of siblings.
A couple of stellar young men.
Two brothers.
These two young men. Two siblings. The hard-hitting pair represent Canada.
Welcome to Thinkin Bros. My name is Chris.
And I'm Alex.
We're your favorite corner store philosophers trying to figure out life one conundrum at a time. And today's conundrum is Shrek, the movie. Shrek 1, released in 2001. We thought we'd do something original, although I don't know to what extent it's original. And
Directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Exactly. And essentially, this is a veteran philosopher with an up-and-coming psychologist discussing the movie Shrek from their respective perspectives. Said that right, surprisingly. Now, you want to give a small summary for like a refresher for those who haven't
Of the
seen
plot?
Shrek? Yeah, let's go with the entire plot because it's not like recounting Memento. I think we can.
It's a little bit easier, I think.
It's a little bit easier. We can go through the entire story for 4 minutes and then just add our details.
So, an ogre lives in a swamp on the edge of a kingdom.
Correct.
His name is Shrek.
Correct.
And he really just wants to live alone. And then he finds that a bunch of mythical creatures squat on his land. Just a lot of them. And then he's really mad. And he discovers that Lord Farquaad, who is the leader of the nearby kingdom, which is not a kingdom because Lord Farquaad is not a king, sent them there. And so he goes to see Lord Farquaad and basically gets sent on a mission to save a princess from a castle, to bring her back to Lord Farquaad, who's too cowardly to go himself. And in exchange for that, he gets his swamp back. And I guess, do I spoil the plot twist? The Fight Club-esque plot twist?
Yeah.
He goes and saves the princess. The princess turns out to turn into an ogre at nighttime, of which she's really ashamed. But eventually, Shrek finds out. He brings her back to the castle. He finds out eventually, and when he kisses her, she was supposed to turn into in her true form.
I think something like take on true love's form.
Take on true love's form, and
which she always expected to be.
Yeah, she expected it to be her human daytime form. But when Shrek kisses her for the first time, she turns into an ogre, and she didn't expect that. And then she's like, "Oh my god, I'm ugly," and he's like, "No, you're beautiful." And they live ugly ever after.
Probably, yeah.
That's what the book
Donkey
says.
says, "Oh, I wanted a good. I thought it was going to be a good ending." Well, didn't he say that at the end?
I don't know.
It was like jumbled.
The book says the book opens up, it says they lived ugly ever.
Right when they kiss in the palace at the end.
But why would he say that?
Well, because she turned into an ogre, but he was expecting both to like be beautiful or something. And Donkey was really honest about Shrek not being.
Yeah, we'll talk about Donkey. He's a big character.
Yeah, big character. Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, okay. So I would say there are major themes. Friendship, certainly. It's very explicit. Love. The other thing is social roles. Because Shrek puts a lot of emphasis on it. The princess puts a lot of emphasis on it. And I think the princess, well, I guess, is she a princess?
Yeah.
I think the princess's perspective is the most fascinating one because when she's getting delivered and kind of Shrek did the whole thing to trick the dragon, although a little bit unintentionally, we can get into the details of that. From her perspective, she always says, no, it must be like this. It must be like this, right? Like, this is just how it goes. How it goes is a big theme of it, right? These social roles, like, okay, I am a princess in the dungeon. It must be a knight who saves me. He must be my first love. We must kiss. But then with time, you realize that ultimately her goal with all of this kind of conformity is just to get liberated from the curse. So it's not necessarily that she wants to adhere to this princess persona, but more so that she has this personal goal of like being delivered from the curse. And you, at the beginning, I feel like you see her true nature clashing with her princess persona, like when they're getting back to the castle, and she's showing all these like manly aspects of, I don't know, like fighting all the hooligans, like what's the guy's name?
Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood's hooligans and whatnot.
Hooligans. Yeah, well,
lawless people.
I think gradually, at the beginning, she's entirely princessy in that world, and she wants everything to go this way. But she transitions pretty fast. Like as soon as Shrek, I guess she overhears Shrek at some point talking. She's in the cave, and then she like opens the door a little bit, and she hears them talking, and the next morning, like she burps, which is very unprincess like, and then shows all these karate moves, which like really surprises Shrek. Like you're a princess in a castle, like why do you know how to fight? You're not supposed to, but she shows them pretty quickly. Like the transition is quick.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is also, I mean, everyone's fighting these roles that they're given.
Mm-hmm.
Shrek
Apart from Donkey,
very,
Donkey doesn't care.
I don't know if Donkey even had a role. I mean, the talking donkey part, he does fight because he doesn't want to get sold to the Farquaad or whatnot. But now, Shrek from the very beginning, he starts off pretty hot with these social roles. He's like, I am an ogre. I must be scary. Let me do these things. This is my swamp. I live alone. But all of these things aren't necessarily ingrained personal preferences. They're just, this is what a troll must do.
I mean, they're defense mechanisms. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's the way he's adapted. He embraces the role that other people think he's supposed to do. Like, and we see him actually refusing at some point. Well, here's the thing. When he goes to see Lord Farquaad to get a swamp cleared of the creatures, Donkey makes a very good point afterwards. He says, like, you're stronger than everyone. You could have just killed everybody and gotten your swamp back. You know, you just get everybody out of your swamp by force. And never in the movie, unless he's defending himself, does he, hit people just for fun or whatever. But that's what people expect of him. When people come to the swamp with pitchforks and everything, they're like, oh, he's an ogre. He's going to grind our bones with his teeth and rip our head off, and our head's going to be on a spike to scare people off. We never see that. Like, at heart, he's not violent at all. He's funny. He's witty. He's very witty. And he's just not what people expect an ogre to be, but he embraces that role, at least at the beginning of the movie.
True. Whereupon he says the legendary line that ogres are like onions. Well, it might be somewhere along the voyage, but to the specific scene where he needs to convince Donkey that it wasn't the best idea for Shrek to decapitate everyone in the palace, he says that there's more to ogres than people think, and that's a big theme in the movie. Now, okay, I mean, I guess let's start by the beginning. I have a list. Here's the order of that list that it's in. It goes, Shrek is disgusting and hated by the villagers, but he kind of embraces it. So at the beginning, you can see the signs that say, stay out, ogre ahead, stay out of my swamp. And yes, that could be, I mean, he says it very explicitly, right? Those are the mechanisms where he just puts that up because that's what's expected of him, and at least he's not gonna like disappoint anyone by, I don't know, being an artistic and welcoming ogre.
I think it's more about people disappointing him. That's the thing. He wants, like, eventually in the movie we see that even though it's like sticky, his defense mechanism in pushing everyone out, I think it's because he's been so disappointed in the past of everyone just thinking that he's gonna be whatever he is, and I guess any slight hint that he's mean, or not even that, right? No one even enters into a relationship with him ever, right? Apart from Donkey.
Yeah, but no, these defense mechanisms are always about him disappointing others. Like, that's pretty much how that works.
What? I literally think it's the opposite. It's about people disappointing him. Like, how is he disappointing others in the sense that he's not mean and scary? It's not disappointment.
Well, it's like, a soft ogre. It's like, I don't know. For example, Like I'm a really, I don't know, muscular. Like let's say if I show up on a police scanner, people are gonna say, average height, muscular build, right? But if I show up and I'm all like really, really nice, I'm subverting. Is that a word? Subverting their expectations.
Yeah, subverting expectations doesn't necessarily mean disappointment. In that case, it'd be disappointment because muscular is associated with good.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But ogre is associated with bad.
Yeah, but ogre is always associated with this. He's selling his authenticity of like being warm and, I don't know, actually liking social contact by playing the role. So he's like, okay, big scary ogre ahead, defense put up. And as long as you don't come too close either for me not to disappoint you and you not to disappoint me, let's just keep it at that for now. I can just at least have my peace. So yes, I'm sacrificing one of the three basic needs, which are competence, autonomy, and connectedness.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just reading this in the book, but it's really powerful, like this thing. So he sacrifices, honestly, authenticity, so autonomy, because this role is imposed onto him, because he's always saying, look, there's always more to ogres than meets the eye. But okay, I'll play the role, and at least, I don't know, I'll be competent at it, but I also have to sacrifice my connectedness. So he's sacrificing two of the basic human needs for the third one. And to have his peace. But that's how defense mechanisms work, right? I just feel like, okay, if you imagine the kind of model psychoanalytic thing, the hurt person with a bunch of defense mechanisms is going to be like, oh, other people have been breaking my heart and they're the problem and blah blah blah. And at the 10th session they have a huge breakthrough and the psychotherapist is like, but you're scared of disappointing them. See,
I guess
like
that
an
could be
end game
thing. Defense mechanisms is a general category, and let's say you're physically abused as a child, a defense mechanism is burying it deep and not having that memory anymore, but still being affected emotionally. That's not about you disappointing someone.
Okay, I'm not going to go further on that, I guess, but for Shrek, I don't know. We also don't know his past, to be fair. Like, I don't even think we can make that assessment because we don't know what happened before. Why were the defense mechanisms put up?
We don't know that, but we get absolutely zero hints at your thing of him disappointing other people, but at people disappointing him. That's all he does. Like the whole movie, he's ranting on and on about people assuming things about ogres, and he's mean because that's what he thinks of other people.
Yeah, but it's always about his identity, and there being a huge clash between what he is supposed to be and what he is, which is, look, if you look at the onion from afar, it's this thing that is going to make your eyes water and that you can't bite into. But as you go deeper and deeper, you understand you can make sautés with it and but combine it with mushrooms. Now, that's a thing. So it's centered around his identity.
Sure,
how
it's about
they
him.
can disappoint him is a different thing. Like this is, if we just go for the friendship thing, right? It's like Donkey
Donut
isn't afraid to overcommit, right? He's always extremely open, extroverted with Shrek. He always, confides into him as those like open people are who aren't afraid of the backlash of such a commitment. But Shrek is more closed, and that's because he's afraid of getting hurt.
Yeah, being disappointed by Donkey.
Yeah, but disappointed in what way? Because
by Donkey having preconceived ideas about what an ogre should be, and that's why Donkey works, is because he just really doesn't care. My point is, we never see any support for your theory in the sense that he never holds back on saying a joke in front of Donkey because he's like, oh, I don't want him to think I'm funny. What's going to happen then?
No, because from the very beginning, I guess like at the 15th minute, he says, look at me, I'm an ogre. Doesn't that bother you? And Donkey says no. So his relationship with Donkey I guess it's the most open. Obviously, the big breakthroughs do wait until the very end, where he just kind of assumes that, okay, fine, we're all in this together.
With Fiona? What do you mean?
I mean, I guess with both, just like being open and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's
But
gradual. Yeah.
Well, it's gradual, and by like even 10 minutes before the end or so, he's still lashing out at Donkey for, you know, having that talk with Fiona where he wasn't supposed
I think that is part of his personality, though. I think part of his personality is being
like the ambivalence, like the jumping back and forth between trusting and not trusting.
no, not exactly. I think even if he trusts Donkey 100%, like making fun of Donkey is part of his personality. He's not like entirely sweet and caring, whatever. He'll make like sarcastic, witty remarks even if he lets someone in.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the display of love. Whereas whenever he's actually angry at Donkey, where he realizes he wasn't completely honest or talked to Fiona when he shouldn't have, so he's actually saying like, "Oh, you're a worthless half horse" type of stuff, which he never said. But that's just my addition to.
You're no steed.
Yeah, exactly. So also, I feel like, again, like if you want to enter my framework, psychologists do say that we have three basic needs: competence, autonomy, and relatedness. And at the beginning, I was looking at it because I knew obviously like the ogre act was a defense mechanism. Just fully, I'm going to embrace that one. I'm going to embrace that one. But so I noticed from the very beginning, when he did scare the villagers and played his role as an ogre, and you know he does his shout, they're just frozen, and he says, "Oh, this is the part where you run," and he watches them run away, and he's smiling, like genuinely smiling. And I think that's where the competence comes through, because if there's one thing he's actually good at, is being an ogre. Whereas with the relationship stuff, you can see the clumsiness of a high school student. You know, it's like a sitcom misunderstanding where you overhear a sentence from a conversation, which I'm not sure if like it's really clear from what you said. I was looking at my notes when you were doing the summary, but essentially he misinterprets one sentence out of the entire conversation between Donkey and Fiona and believes that she's saying he was fat and ugly, but she was saying it about herself in her night form. And you know, it is something that you would see in high school, right? Where you read like,
I think it's a thing you would only see like on TV, but yeah.
No, but it's realistic, not the maybe overhearing conversations,
like
but maybe
overhearing one part of the conversation that
like someone,
by chance makes it seem like it's
but like someone sending you a screenshot of a text where she says, I don't know, oh, not him, but it's the childish, ew, I don't love him, but she actually loves you.
Yeah, it's not very
it's
mature
just
relationship beginning. Yeah,
exactly, and obviously that can be perceived by him not instantly being honest about like their connection. But to be fair, Donkey interrupted it as well, but it's okay for him not to be competent as well, because it's not like he looks like he ever done it before. He's been living in the swamp. It's okay. Friendship by circumstance.
I do think, though, that his competence at being an ogre is mostly other people just assuming already that he is and acting like it. Because him being a competent ogre would be scream, then everyone freezes and doesn't move. He takes one person and rips them in half. He's still nice. He's like, yo, run. Like, run away.
Well, yeah, because that's not his true nature, which is why I'm saying like he's sacrificing his authenticity for what he, at the very least, he's not going to, you know, subvert expectations, and he's going to be good at it.
Exactly in that moment, he's sacrificing not his true identity. He's sticking to his true identity. In not.
Well, what is his true identity? Oh,
in not ripping the people apart.
Yeah, but if he was truly authentic, he would, I don't know, make him a nice dinner. I don't know, pick him out flowers. Because he's he's even nicer than scaring them.
Yeah, for sure. But it's too much of a hassle. It's too much of a hassle because he could say, "Hey guys, I'm not scary and an ogre. Look, I'm gonna make you dinner," but they would just not be accepting of that, and that would be too much of a hassle for him. And yeah, it'd be disappointing. I mean, it'd be like banging your head against the wall, just trying to get people to understand that you're not mean.
Yeah, but okay, so let's just imagine, right? That first villager encounter, I don't know, 10 villagers come over, pitchforks and torches. He spots them from inside, he goes behind them, whatever. What if he's like, he genuinely just tries to explain himself. He's like, hey guys, like, I know I'm supposed to be this big scary guy. I just want my peace. Can you please leave me alone? I think he'd be scared of the reactions of judgments from them.
Yeah, but I think you can like imagine any reaction you want to support any argument you're making.
Okay, so how would they disappoint him? By like trying to stab him when he's trying to be nice with them?
Yes.
I mean, both reactions are realistic.
I think mine is more realistic just because that's what you do to an ogre that you're scared to death of. Like, you're trying, you'll assume that he's trying to like lure you in for fun because he's cruel. Instead of him being like, no, guys, I swear I'm nice. Stop.
So I think we're analyzing the two sides of the same coin in the sense that it's always the difference between what he's supposed to be and what he is that causes the problem.
Yeah.
Right. So at the very least, it's about uniting those things and like finding a middle way. But I also think, I don't remember Shrek 2, but I feel like he'd just marry Fiona in her ogre form and they just go out scaring villagers together and have fun with that. Because I feel like there is still a little bit of ogre in him in that sense.
Yeah, I definitely think he's a complicated psychological character. No, I think, as I was saying earlier, even when I think the truest we can see Shrek throughout the movie is later on with Donkey, right? He's still got a little bit of sauciness in him. Like he's snappy. He has a temper, but that's the thing. Like he has a temper, but like a human would, right? He's just like a nice, quick-tempered, witty, funny human, but in the body of an ogre. And that's the only difference. Is the body of an ogre makes everyone think that he's like big and mean. Like he can still have his faults in his true nature, and he still does, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess he's always going to be perceived as disgusting by humans, and he definitely doesn't. I mean, that is one thing he's never going to be scared of embracing, right? Like eating eyeballs and I don't know, cooking up frog liver, whatever, right?
I wonder what eye he's eating. I don't think it would be human. I don't think he kills humans.
Nah. It's hard to say.
No, it doesn't matter.
Also,
by the iris, I would say it's a coyote.
It's hard to, I don't know, the role of having all of the other kids' fairy tales and stuff all into one movie. Because that's one aspect I absolutely didn't remember. Like, I knew there was the gingerbread guy, who else? Who else is actually notorious?
Pinocchio.
Like, none of the
Three Little Pigs.
Yeah, but to be fair, none of the main characters are really like a staple of other.
I think in the other movies, they have a bigger role, right?
Yeah, because it's everyone together, right? It's all the mystical creatures. But they're the ones who really initiate the quest because they go into his circle, right? They go past his defenses, so to say. And they're the ones who, initiate the whole quest for him. What is the role of having all of the other cautionary tales?
Cautionary tales?
Well, that's what essentially they are, right? Like there's the wolf from Red Riding Wolf.
Red Riding Wolf.
Hood.
It's just a hoot.
What else?
Pinocchio, Three Little Pigs, Gingerbread Man. What is that? Is that just he's just?
Oh, that just feels like I don't know.
Like
whatever
Hansel and
Christmas,
Gretel.
like I don't know. They're probably out there too, right? Hansel and Gretel.
Probably.
Like Shrek would probably walk into it in Shrek 2. Now, I'm not sure because also whatever the tales are supposed to tell isn't embodied by these characters in the movie Shrek.
Yeah, there's just comedic relief, I think. Like Pinocchio has a moment at the beginning.
or like free familiarity. They just use it for like, oh, like I'm watching Shrek and it's a new thing, but also here are all these characters that also already
Right. I guess
exist.
the world makes sense with them in it, right? It's just like, okay, it's humans, and then there's
Mystical
also all
creatures.
these mystical creatures. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's funny because like we're obviously analyzing Shrek as a human, or because we are humans, but
I swear.
but those aspects of him being genuinely like inherently disgusting to other humans, that's also something that we can transfer, right?
In an ugly
Because-
human?
Yeah, well, not ugly necessarily, just the odd one. Because Shrek and Fiona, from the perspective of the humans, are that one couple, always doing weird stuff in the corner of the classroom.
I guess, but
Like in an endearing way. No, but like,
I guess, but
yeah.
they're not so weird. That's the thing. In their actions, they're not so weird. Okay, I guess they eat weird food, and they look different. I think that's the main thing, though. It's literally just that they look different. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
as I said earlier, like Shrek seems just like a funny guy. Hey,
That's fair. It might be like a decoy of, seeing, Shrek, ogre, eats disgusting things. But then when you go deeper and deeper psychoanalytically, you're like, okay, well, I mean, Shrek is just another human, has a few oddities, but honestly, if everyone just ignored them, the story would be about humans, right?
yeah,
And Donkey's the same, obviously. Donkey's just that guy who's hanging around, killing you with kindness, never stops talking, extremely kind of pure and authentic and spontaneous.
yeah.
Yeah, and the scenes where Shrek helps Donkey overcome his fears are really cool. When he backs him out in the
Bridge.
on the bridge. Yes, I noted that when he goes on the quest to regain his privacy, but also helps all of the others by extension by confronting Lord Farquaad, although he was ready to sell them all out.
I don't understand why they were on his property though.
They got evicted there.
Evicted from where?
I really don't know.
Because they got bought.
Yeah.
Lord Farquaad bought them all.
Yeah, because so Lord Farquaad, definitely someone to discuss. He wanted to purify the land. Let's just say, right? So he was like, okay, it's all about the human race, and these mystical creatures must go. So he gives rewards for people to send the mystical creatures over, captures them, and then evicts them onto Shrek's swamp.
I guess just to have them all at the same place.
Yeah, and I guess if they were spotted out of there, they'd be in trouble. But also, it seems like a clever tactic to get rid of the one problem they couldn't get rid of, which is the ogre, because even the soldiers were afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, like, it wasn't even intentional, because when Shrek went to Farquaad,
He was surprised.
yeah, he was surprised, like,
It could have been
they're
a
on your
big
land.
brain move of like bringing him over.
Yeah, also, why does he torture Pancake Guy? Like,
Gingerbread man.
yeah, Gingerbread Man. Because we just saw the scene where he was buying all the creatures, and now they got evicted. Oh, or did they escape? Because if they escaped, that kind of makes sense. Because it means,
I think we're dumb. I think they did escape, and he was
It must
getting
be.
that information from him. Where did they
Right.
go?
it all ties together, because now it's like, if Shrek's inside, he's eating, right? Donkey's right outside. See, he's a talking donkey. All these mystical creatures run away through the forest. They meet Donkey. They're like, oh, another creature. And then they settle down in the swamp.
Although Donkey says I didn't invite them, I swear. And I
But
don't
that's
think
also Donkey. Like, he probably just started yapping. Forgive my language.
he's a
And
yapper.
He definitely is a yapper. That's what the sound that donkeys make, by the way. Just for those who haven't done their research.
Can we get a demonstration?
No, thank you. But so he goes on the quest to regain his privacy. But now it makes sense, right? Because everyone's celebrating Shrek going to Farquaad. Because they think like, oh, big scary ogre is going to confront the guy who's been kind of what's a word for like,
Ostracizing
terrorists?
us.
Yeah, ostracizing us. to be fair, Shrek was. It's not clear that he would be ready to sell them out because he's not really aware of the whole eviction thing, right? Even when he saved Donkey, it was just like, oh, let's do a funny thing and scare these soldiers away. It wasn't necessarily intentional. And now he goes on a quest to regain his privacy, but by extension, he's also helping all the. At least that's the implication, right? All the mystical creatures.
I guess, yeah.
And consequentially, that is virtue. That's what I noted down.
True.
In the sense that if you only focus on the final result, he will, well, if he takes care of Farquaad, whatever that means. So in this sense, it was about a deal, right? Or no, he did a worse thing because...
No, they're just happy that he's going to see Lord Farquaad, I guess. Are they... Is that what you're saying? They're celebrating
they're all
when he
singing,
leaves?
they're all like pushing him like, oh yeah, go see him, go see him. I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Yeah, okay.
But
not
also,
sure anymore.
No one wants to join him because, well, except for Donkey.
Yeah.
Because they're all scared of him.
Farquaad, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Farquaad, gingerbread man. He calls the gingerbread man a freak. So Farquaad he's really centered around like purifying the lands for the humans to remain out there, but also other humans are very instrumental in this whole thing, as can be seen by the crowd of everything he attends.
Yeah,
I think it's signs.
I think it's not about like humans versus mystical creatures per se. I think it's the emphasis is on the place being perfect, right? He wants no one out of line, and being different in this way, in any way, is out of line. So all the mystical creatures instantly just have to go out the window. But also, when he gives speeches or whatever, he has his servants holding up signs that say like applause now and, you know, mournful silence now or whatever. So he wants everything to go according to his plan. He's just like a textbook tyrant, I guess.
Definitely. Now, again with convention, because everyone's listening to him, right? He's wearing a crown or whatever, but then the magic mirror tells him he's not a king until he can find a prince. Or I don't know if maybe someone else tells him that, but
yeah, it's the mirror. I think how it goes is he brings out the mirror and he says, is this a perfect kingdom? And the mirror's like, it's not a kingdom. Even the mirror's scared of him.
Right. And well, I mean, yeah, again, Machiavelli, right? Fear to rule. I'm trying to make it about philosophy. So now, again, this is convention because, as I said, right, every single thing for this to be a kingdom and for him to be a king has been achieved, right? He's sitting on the throne, everyone's listening to him. He's already like giving orders and leading the army. And yet, by convention, he can't be a king because he needs a queen. So again, social role. Obviously, Farquaad's going to dive deep into that. He doesn't care. I mean, I don't even know what authenticity means to him. Because for him, it's about perfection.
Yeah, we never find out, right? We never find out what authenticity is. I guess the characters that end up happy are the ones that are able to defy the convention and be their true self. And
exactly. He's like fully pursuing the role of the evil ruler. And obviously, he just loses and gets eaten up by the dragon at the end. Spoiler. And we don't even get a glimpse of what he truly desired. But I guess, I don't know. It seemed like a pretty genuine quest, but also
for all we're concerned, he's really just that shallow, and we don't see anything else from him. So
yeah, fair enough. So he needs to become a king. There are 3 choices offered to him.
I mean, that's not really important, but yeah.
No, it's just funny because and this is one moment where it doesn't happen often, and I don't know what the role of that is, but he's extremely indecisive because the mirror gives him the 3 options, right? I think it's Cinderella, Rapunzel,
Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty, and Fiona, which is essentially Sleeping Beauty.
Right.
Like she's sleeping at the top of a tower, woken up by a kiss. Well, not woken up by a kiss, but like needs a kiss to go through to the next phase and protected by a dragon. Okay,
to
that's
go to the next phase, it's a video game. So,
And-
by the way, basically, since his land is not a kingdom and he really wants it to become a kingdom, the mirror says you have 3 choices of princesses. To become a king, you have to marry a princess.
Yeah.
Here are your 3 choices, which is not really explained in the movie. They just go into like, oh, here are your 3 choices randomly, but whatever.
Yeah, a lot
Like,
of
it
these,
doesn't-
a lot of
yeah.
things do happen. Like big events happen instrumentally, just like all of the creatures landing on Shrek's land.
Yeah, but
it's
I
not
don't
a
mind it at
problem.
all.
It's not a problem. Like,
I don't mind
yeah,
it at
exactly.
all. Yeah.
It's plot convenient, but it's what we want from it. Otherwise, introducing all of those elements would take 20 more minutes, and that
Yeah,
just
the movie
don't
would
need to
probably
happen.
been like 2 hour 30 if you want to make it make sense.
And again, what's funny is, as I'm saying, like you have to notice these social roles, because the difference between what the kingdom is now and it actually being a kingdom is really just adding the name kingdom to it. And him marrying the princess really is that instrumental as well. Like the only difference between those two not knowing each other and them being married is someone marrying them. Like there's no courtship. Well, obviously that's like ancient times and all, but there's no courtship. What they call first love is really just fulfilling a prophecy of delivering her from the tower, which actually does happen, right? She does marry and kiss for the first time the person who delivered her from the tower. Just it goes through more steps than that.
Yeah, just a comment. We get a glimpse of true Shrek, of him not hating everyone and hating humanity, really, when he goes to the castle and there's this big fight that's organized to decide who's going to go and rescue Fiona. It's basically like a gladiator style, everyone against everyone. The winner goes to the castle because he's the strongest. And Shrek just like comically comes in, and the rules are changed. Now Farquaad is like, the one that kills the ogre is gonna go get the princess. And Shrek and Donkey honestly just beat them all up. And then at the end, everyone starts applauding Shrek, and everyone's happy, and he's really happy about it. He raises his arms, he looks around, he's very, very happy about getting all this attention.
Yeah.
So I think that's the clearest demonstration of it being completely fake when he pretends to like hate humanity entirely and hate everyone and not care about what anyone thinks and all that.
And he is a showman, right? He does all of these cool tricks during the fight, and I think the second time he enters the crowd during the wedding, he says something like, "Yeah, it's me," or something like that. Just like says a comment. You remember that?
I don't remember.
It's like hold the applause. I don't know, something like that. So he's really a showman. So, any interesting thing about anything to say about Farquaad delegating the task of getting his princess and fulfilling the prophecy to someone else?
I think it's really just a complete delusion. Like he's really, really delusional about his stature, not only physically, but like, in terms of repute and everything. He constructs the world around him to carry on this false belief that he's mighty and powerful. I can really see no way in which he is like a good human, right? He's not nice, he's not funny, he's not physically impressive.
He's got a cool chin.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm just trying to be nice here.
Yeah. And so I guess he knows fully that he's not gonna be the one to go and get Fiona. Like he's not able to, and he just smoothly delegates it to someone else. Like that's what's supposed to happen. I don't know.
Oh, but okay, but this is the thing I wanted to mention earlier about how he didn't only delegate going to get her. He delegated the choice itself. This is why I brought up that there were 3.
Right, yeah.
Because when the mirror presents the 3 options of the princesses, everyone just starts shouting, number 1, number 2, number 3. And he's so indecisive. And you can see him for the first time where he breaks down and like, at the very least, this allure of a goal-oriented, what do you say? Extreme...
Decisive.
Yeah, of a decisive leader who at least knows what he wants, right? at the very least, he has the confidence, whether you call it fake or not, of like knowing exactly what he wants, right? Now I want to become king, so do this, do this.
Yeah.
But here's where it breaks down, and in the choice of a princess, and he actually seems excited about the choice, right? He's like, like there's some emotion in it, and he's holding his face. He's like, I don't know which one, I don't know which one. And then his, I guess, executioner, right?
I don't know, his closest
Yeah, like servant.
Yeah.
He shouts the loudest, like, go number 3. And Farquaad's like, okay, number 3 it is.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that highlights the instrumentality of the choice, because even the choice itself wasn't made by him. He's not going to pick her up.
And the choice doesn't really matter also. Right? For him, it's just about being a king.
Yeah, and he did choose the biggest challenge, right? Because the third one had a dragon in it. The second one had like 9 dwarves.
But he didn't choose. That's the thing, right? He didn't choose. And he also delegates everything. He delegates going to get the princess. He delegates getting off his horse. He delegates organizing the wedding. He starts ordering people around like, oh, go do this, go do this. It really feels like a son getting the throne from his, I don't know, maybe competent father that died, and then he just really is like a spoiled brat and doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, what do kings do? They do just say, army go here, I eat this, you bring me this.
Yeah, sure, but we can see that he's not decisive. Like,
yeah, only in that, though. That's the thing. That's where it breaks down. But, like, and I feel like the role of that is just to say, look at how instrumental this marriage is. He's not even the one who decided on the princess, and he's not going to go get her. So what is this marriage really about? But all the other stuff, you never see him hesitating, do you? Even when he meets Fiona, to be fair, like, he's a confident guy. He's like, hey, I am here. Don't you feel like it has a special role of him being indecisive only in that moment?
Okay, and what is that special role?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm asking.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's because it wasn't written in the fairy tale. Like, it wasn't written in the king book what he's supposed to do. Everything else is like, okay, I have to be mighty, the strongest of them all. I have to have a perfect kingdom. This is how I'm going to do it. And everything is written out for him. But here, it's a choice that is sort of arbitrary and hasn't been decided for him. And we can see him break down just because the answer is not written in the book already.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So again, it's just like he's really centered, like, tunnel vision on this one path, and it for now has been linear. And as soon as it gets forked, that's trouble for him. Then Shrek has a discussion about ogres being like onions, but then Donkey says, "Okay, why onions? Don't you want to be like cakes because everyone loves cake?" But then he said, "I don't care what everyone likes. Ogres are not like cakes." So here again, it's like he values his authenticity more than being liked by everyone.
I guess. And that's when we see like the true him. True him is an onion.
In a way. Yeah.
Not a cake.
And to be fair, he's more ready to philosophically talk about how he wishes he could just live out his true identity than actually showing the true identity. Right? Like being warmer than he really is. Or
I think his true identity is really just limited to not killing people. That's what's hidden. Because as I said, like he does have character flaws. I still think he's like a
but think about how okay, that's reasonable, but like think about how open he is by the end with Donkey and with Fiona versus how at the beginning with Donkey would want to talk and share, and Shrek would shut it down and always, I don't know, change subjects, say to stop talking, insult him. Right? All that is like isn't his true side. In the sense where people just say to people like that, oh, like you need to open up and be more welcoming of like opening up. I don't know.
What's your point? I'm not sure.
I forgot. The sentence was too long. Oh yeah, I just wanted to relate it to underground man, notes from underground saying that people are ready to sacrifice stuff for authenticity. Like just for it to be their choice, they could make a suboptimal choice, which for Shrek would be
Being the onion and not the cake.
yeah, being layered, I guess, and not just being like full on ogre, full on scaring other people and not liking others.
Okay.
I don't know.
It feels like you're saying two things, but yeah.
I don't know. It was composed of multiple words. Okay, Shrek's identity as an ogre clashes with his true passions. And then Donkey says, donkeys don't have layers. They wear their heart on their sleeve. And that's just like, I guess...
Donkeys don't have sleeves.
Yeah, donkeys don't have sleeves. But that's just introvert versus extrovert? Or not?
I'm not sure. It felt... I was trying to read into Donkey, but it really seems like he's not that complicated, right? It really seems like he's... I mean, he's not complicated, but he is the solution to all the problems. Like, he's the answer.
Yeah, the kill him with kindness that eventually worked on Shrek and worked instantly on the dragon.
It's initially I wrote down like low neuroticism, but it's not really low neuroticism because he's really scared of heights.
Yeah.
He's really scared of everything. But I think it's the ability to let go. He's really empty. Like he's almost enlightened. Shrek insults him 5 minutes ago, or like not even Shrek insults him horribly. He stands still with a sad face for 5 seconds, and then he like starts hopping about and is like, okay, so where are we going now? Like he really forgets. He doesn't hold on.
Yeah, and then when Shrek is surprised, he just says, "That's what friends do. They forgive.
Yeah.
Right? They make up." He does have a Buddha mind in the sense that things do bounce off him. And if you notice, one of the first things he says to Shrek is a compliment, which is why Shrek is surprised and says, "Oh, aren't you supposed to be afraid I'm an ogre?" I think after that he says, "No, that doesn't bother me at all. You're actually cool," or whatever. He just gives a compliment. And the same thing works on the dragon. Because again, the dragon, they enter the castle. No one knows why the dragon is protecting the princess. I mean, maybe she's protecting the castle itself. We don't know, but the role of the dragon is to be big and scary and breathe fire. So, okay, she starts doing that. Then Donkey has his back against the wall, metaphorically. And the first thing he does, again, it is a defense mechanism, but he does compliment her, which absolutely works.
Mm-hmm.
Makes her reconnect with her true loving nature. Definitely an interesting shift as well. How did Donkey act on Fiona? Well, by making her open up. Although he does literally enter her shed at night when she's an ogre, and she is forced to have that conversation with Donkey. But she's not that closed up about it. Like, she could have hid and said, "Oh, respect my privacy, get out of the shed," I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's that extroverted guy that everyone can confide in. And to be fair, he is loyal. He doesn't want... Even at a point where it would be more profitable for the story I guess Shrek and Fiona, for Donkey to tell Fiona's secret to Shrek, he's like, no, let her say it. Like, go see Fiona and she'll tell you. So he's really the best friend.
Yeah.
Like, just a good friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's really the solution to everything. Like, he helps the dragon, he helps Shrek, he helps Fiona. He just like...
Yeah, all the while being kind of stupid in that sense. But again, it's like you can see
It feels... Well, yeah, the Shrek does seem like smarter and wittier than him. Although Donkey does make some jokes.
Wait, it's us too. It's legitimately us.
I think Donkey is intellectually deficient in the sense that Shrek like seems smarter than him. So like he's less smart than Shrek, let's say, but he's morally just enlightened. Like he just always does the right thing.
Yeah. And it never feels like inauthentic in a... Oh, this is what I'm saying. like this is what I'm supposed to do manner.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, that's what I do because.
I mean, he just bumps into Shrek. He's like, "Oh, I have no friends. You saved me. You want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Let's be friends."
Yeah, and it does seem like, from the Shrek perspective, from a Shrekian perspective,
Philosophy.
made it philosophical. It does seem that, you know, if it's one of those things. If you start asking the questions, it becomes complicated. But if it is just, hey, we're two people in a forest, both of us don't have a single friend. You want to be friends? If it is kept that simple, it could be a great friendship. And as soon as you make it like, I'm an ogre, you're a donkey, I like my privacy, and all of these things that you don't need to add, then it becomes complicated, right?
I'm pretty sure when they first meet, Shrek and Donkey doesn't say anything, right? He runs, then hides behind Shrek, and Shrek scares the people away. And then when you see Donkey speak for the first time in front of Shrek, Shrek never makes a comment about him being a talking donkey. Shrek never judges him initially either.
Nah, he does say it.
He does?
He doesn't judge it, but I think he does acknowledge it. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Who said that? Couldn't have been a donkey.
All right.
Surprisingly funny movie.
Yeah, well, definitely, yeah. It's made for.
And we also get a glimpse at real Shrek and, well, I guess him keeping hope even though the world has disappointed him. When Donkey asks him about the quest they're about to go on and how things are supposed to go, and Shrek says, "Oh yeah, this is how it's supposed to happen. I read it in a book once." And that's the book we see him tear a page out of and wipe his bum at the beginning of the movie. So he did read it.
It's an opposition of determinism.
He did read it, and he did hold on to hope. Like, I think him ripping out of the page of the book and wiping with it is like a symbol of him turning away. Like, it's the same thing as him turning away humanity and never human, but still feeling that he could have like an honest relationship with people.
Yeah, but that's also why. But you said the thing about the tallest tower, right? So they show up to the castle, and Donkey's like, "How do we know where the princess is?" And Shrek says, "She's at the top of the tallest tower." And then Donkey asks, "How do you know this?" And Shrek says, "I read it in the book." Because that's how things are supposed to be. And in the same way, you don't know why she's there, really. You don't know why the dragon's guarding her. Everything just is. And no one questions it. But maybe the wiping is... Okay, it's not, but like... is a defiance of the determinism.
I see.
Of like, these fairy tales, I'll choose what I do. And here's me doing a vulgar thing because that's what I think about your determinism. And here, at the end, I mean, to be fair, you know, ironically, he does fulfill the prophecy itself. It's not what everyone thinks, but it's his free choice because he finally finds love. But at the beginning, he was the get out of my swamp guy. So he did have his free choice, but ultimately the prophecy still succeeded. So it's funny, like it's.
Yeah, I think it's very well made. I think the big point is, here are the two stories. Scary ogre, everyone hates him. Knight that saves a princess in a tower. And it's really just a combination of two. We go straight in the middle. We don't care about either, right? He's still quick-tempered and sort of gets angry with Donkey and everything, so he's sort of an ogre. But he also did save a princess from the tower. But, you know, he did it not on a steed, he did it with a donkey. The princess is an ogre. The dragon is a girl for some reason. It's just like, both stories are just not true. What's true is whatever Shrek is. And that's something in the middle. It's like that for everyone, I feel like. You know, there's stories being told, and your life is going to be a mix of all those stories, I guess, but mainly just what you are. And that's why it's a banger.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. Also, at the beginning, you think the princess is really like over concerned with the prophecy.
Well, she really is.
No, but she really is. But you think it's because, you know, she wants to keep it according to the expectations, and it must be a night. Oh, we must kiss. But then you realize that it's still for personal profit. It's like her authentic quest of wanting to be beautiful, but more than beautiful, just loved. Right? Because at the end, she does manage to get love without the beauty, and therefore accepted by someone.
Yeah, without the beauty in quotes, right?
Because it is about perception, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And the beholder we so much talk about is Shrek,
His eye.
in whom's eyes is the beauty.
It is. To conclude this irony of like defying expectations, what happens at the end is that an ogre saves a princess from a knight on a dragon.
Right, which is all
Literally
backwards.
the opposite of what's supposed to happen. A knight is supposed to save a princess from a dragon, and it's an ogre coming in saving a princess from a knight, or I guess whatever Farquaad is, on a dragon.
If you add Farquaad, it's like the king giving the order, but then it's the knight giving the orders to the dragon to eat the king and saving the princess
But the knight being
with a donkey.
Shrek?
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever. So yeah, and a lot of these characters, it seems, as we said, right, as we concluded, the only people that are happy at the end are the ones that get to live out what they are. Shrek is that. Fiona, obviously, Donkey.
Donkey is immortal and has been there throughout time.
I mean, no, I don't know. Donkey's just the winner in this. Dragon. The big character that doesn't get like followed his role all throughout is Farquaad and doesn't succeed at all.
That doesn't follow his role?
Does I said yeah.
Okay.
His role and not his
Overcommits to his role.
Yeah, exactly. Also, there was a scene where Donkey and Shrek were watching the sky, and Shrek said, "Oh, look, this is." Do you remember what?
The Great and Ugly. Something about ogres.
Yeah, and then Donkey was like, "I don't see it." And then Shrek tells him, "Hey, you got to have a little imagination." But it's really a hint at the whole perspective taking thing, right?
You will see what you want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, like for example, with the beauty of Fiona, or just, I mean, obviously a metaphor for the bigger message of the movie.
Yeah.
All right, so in keeping with this discovery that children's movies can be much deeper than you might think, because ultimately they're made by adults, and they're made by adults who know what they're doing, at the very least in the 2000s. And I'm not saying as opposed to before that, I'm saying as opposed to after that. Okay. In any case, do you want to read Alice in the Wonderland with commentary? Because I have that legendary stacked book, and it's Alice in the Wonderland, and you wouldn't believe how deep that stuff goes.
With commentary? Or do you mean we read it and then we comment on it?
Both.
Okay.
It's like an annotated, deep analysis.
Signed
of
original 1783.
No, but
Okay.
do you remember the guy who wrote it?
No.
Okay. Well, we're gonna probably read Alice in the Wonderland for next week, and that is just absolutely full of images, and other metaphorical.
It does have images?
Yeah. It does have illustrations. That's how you know it's a sophisticated book. It's not pictures. So, for the larger point, it's really, I mean, this is obvious, but the stories and the narratives that rule people's childhood are so key in what they're going to become. And it's cool to know that this is the kind of stuff we grew up on, right? Like seeing Donkey as the big winner and Shrek's opening up
I'm not
story.
sure we did. I'm not sure we did. I think we laughed at Donkey.
No, not like the big winner. Oh, like as kids? I don't know. Maybe it's more obvious that he's the one who finds love and like created the friendship and broke through the barriers of Shrek when you're an adult, but
I think it's good to see just to see. I think as a kid, what you could understand is Shrek is the hero in this story, an ogre that everyone hates is the hero. That's like the big thing.
Yeah, but also the big shift that happens within him
Yeah, as a kid, I don't
from
think that's
denying
what you see.
relatedness to. Yeah, but these are all
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all things you acknowledge subconsciously, and hopefully you become more like him, right? If you're a closed down kid, maybe you open up your defenses and I don't speak to someone at the playground, and maybe you're happier after that. Who knows? And all I'm saying is, as I said when we were watching the movie, today's Disney movies do not achieve the same thing. Growing up on Lion King and this is something else. Also, I'm not sure. Is it Disney?
I don't know.
Who knows?
A lot of people know.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's the easiest Google search away. So, thanks all for listening. What's our figured out rating? Yeah, I mean, okay, well, yeah, sure. 3, 2, 1, 9.
9.
Yeah. Just because, I don't know. I think it's both. I think whenever we disagree, it's more me, but it's both, right?
What?
Because, did you put 9 because of our disagreement?
No, I'm pretty convinced about my arguments. But 9 just because I'm sure there's some stuff we missed. I'm sure something
Things
about
that-
Farquaad that we didn't notice, or some other character that plays a big role.
I feel like things were pointed out, and it's not
Yeah.
like that it made them lose their subtlety. It's just, it made them apparent to kids, which we wouldn't need it, right? Like, you see the big, the enormous tower that Farquaad built for himself, and Shrek is like, oh, it looks like he's compensating. And there's like a pause for everyone to get it.
I think
I get that you don't necessarily get that as a kid, like exactly what they're referring to.
you don't get the two meanings. Of
Yeah, the
what
two-
he could, yeah.
The two meanings, but you're like, oh, he's short, tower tall, ha ha. But I think if Shrek didn't say that, it would be a better adult movie, but a worse kids movie.
If he said what? If
Nothing. If you saw the tower and then saw Shrek smirk, for example, right? And you'd make the link in your head.
Right.
And it would be like Memento type subtlety. Well, I'm saying Memento just because the last movie we discussed, but like a good movie type subtlety where you feel rewarded as the watcher for under the viewer. You are not the watcher. You get it?
Yeah.
Which is why I think that you're not right that we missed stuff, in the sense that, to me, like, after I was taking notes and we were pausing and stuff, the movie felt pretty transparent, but not in any like disappointing way where it's just, oh, they put it too forward.
I don't know. Do they get away with it because it's a kids movie? I guess a lot of it is that's what it is. But I think it's just an enjoyable thing, even for us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the nostalgia hit us and made us enjoy more.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's cool. It's cool. Recommended.
Teeth brushing with caterpillars.
Yeah, all these little elements that can make you laugh and the kids laugh. So, and the earwax candle too. Okay. Thanks all for listening. Go to thinkinbros.com for more information, or contact us at thinkingbros@gmail.com. And I've been Chris this week.
Alex, bye.